Welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're jumping right into something pretty fascinating, I think.
Yeah.
How to build a really strong, engaging presence on Instagram, but without ever actually showing your face.
The faceless creator phenomenon. It's definitely a thing.
Totally. And we've got a stack of insights basically pulled from this really in-depth guide on faceless Instagram content strategies.
Right. So the mission for this deep dive really is to sort of uncover those proven techniques. How creators can connect, tell stories, grow their reach.
All while keeping their identity private.
Exactly. It lets the creativity, the content itself, take the spotlight.
And speaking of growing reach and boosting profiles,
Right.
if that's something you're looking into, the guide actually mentions checking out rapidboost.net.
Oh, yeah. What's the connection?
It seems they have tools sort of tailored for creators wanting to scale up, and specifically notes it works well even if you're going the faceless route. So maybe worth a look for folks.
Interesting. Okay, so let's unpack this core idea first. The guide really pushes back on the idea that you have to build a traditional personality brand, based on your appearance.
Which must be a huge relief for some people.
Definitely. It's a big shift.
So the guide talks about the silent power of anonymity. What's that about, really?
Well, it's interesting. By taking your face out of the equation, you remove potential distractions, I guess. Things like age or appearance, personal style.
Stuff people might judge consciously or not.
Exactly. That stuff just fades away. And it means your creativity, your actual message, that becomes the main focus.
So the content does the talking, it kind of becomes the personality.
Precisely. And that can actually appeal to a much wider audience, right?
Yeah.
Because it's less about relating to one specific person's look and more about the shared idea or the skill or the story. It feels more universal.
Yeah, that makes sense. And it feels like it taps into bigger trends too, like growing privacy concerns, maybe digital fatigue.
Absolutely. The guide touches on that. People are maybe a bit tired of the constant stream of perfectly curated personal lives.
Right.
So users are looking for stuff that feels, genuine. And paradoxically, an account focused purely on ideas or skills, not personal exposure, can sometimes feel more authentic to them.
It's less performative, maybe?
Could be. The guide uses a great case study here at Accidentally Wes Anderson.
Oh, I love that account. The photos are amazing.
We really are. And it's a perfect example, right? It's
Yeah,
all about
yeah.
curating these whimsical travel photos, that specific aesthetic.
But you never see the creator.
Never. The focus is purely on the visuals, the curation, the captions, and they have a massive following. It just proves that powerful visual storytelling connects deeply. No selfie required.
Okay, so if we're not using our face, what are we using? Let's talk about the actual content formats the guide suggests.
Right. So one really versatile one is carousel posts.
Oh yeah, the swipey ones. I use those a lot.
They're brilliant for telling a story step by step, like
Or-
showing a process.
How-to guides, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Recipe steps, an art project unfolding, maybe breaking down a productivity tip with photos of your workspace as you go.
So you guide the viewer through it visually.
Yeah, without needing you in the frame. Then you've
Yeah.
got things like flat lays and overhead shots.
The beautifully arranged tabletop photos.
Those are fantastic for showcasing niche items, books, art supplies, tech, food, whatever fits your theme. Arranged really nicely.
Visually appealing.
Totally. And the guide points out that overhead setups, looking straight down, are perfect for those hands-in-frame demos.
Right, where you just see the hands doing something, drawing, writing, assembling.
It feels personal, but still anonymous, which leads nicely into process videos, often called hand-only content.
These are so mesmerizing, like time lapses of sketching
Or arranging flowers or cooking. Yeah, they're super
I
engaging.
didn't watch them for ages.
And they communicate skill or expertise really effectively. Again, anonymously. Think unboxing videos where the camera just focuses on the product and hands.
Or writing, painting, cooking.
All great examples. And the guide mentions at the Bliss Bean, Beatrice N. here.
For productivity and bullet journaling stuff.
Exactly. Her account is a masterclass in this. Beautiful flat lays, workspace shots, those addictive hand-only videos setting up her journal.
You instantly recognize her style.
You do. The aesthetic is the brand identity. It creates connection, all without selfies.
So it's not just static images. We can use motion too, right? Graphics, animations, reels.
Definitely. The guide emphasizes using things like branded templates and infographics.
Tools like Canva make that easier now.
So much easier. You can create really compelling graphics, quotes, tips, stats without being a design pro.
And the key is consistency, I guess. Colors, fonts.
That's the visual signature. Use a consistent color palette, Consistent fonts and even simple graphics start to feel like yours.
Right. What about animation?
Short animations, motion graphics, they add energy. Think illustrated explainers, text that moves, dynamic charts. Great for sharing complex ideas, especially for like business or education accounts.
Makes sense. And Reels are obviously huge. How do faceless accounts use Reels creatively?
Well, the guide suggests leaning into popular audio trends, but showing something else.
Like what?
Show your art process sped up, quick life hacks using just hands or objects, product reviews where the product is the star, point of view shots.
Ah, POV style.
Yeah. And using overlay text is really important for context. You can even mix in relevant stock footage sometimes.
Okay, so a ton of visual options there. It's not limiting at all, really.
Not at all. And again, if you're looking to really push these strategies and boost your Instagram reach with this faceless content, the guide brings up exploringrapidboost.net again.
Right, mentioning their tools are kind of designed for creators aiming to stand out and scale, even without the selfies.
Seems to be the suggestion, yeah. Worth looking into if growth is the goal.
Okay, cool. So we've got the visuals covered, but how do you actually connect with people if they don't see your face? The guide really stresses captions and storytelling here.
Absolutely crucial. Your words become that vital bridge. You have to connect emotionally through your writing.
So not just describing the photo.
No, much more than that. The guide suggests a conversational tone, sharing little anecdotes, asking questions to get people talking in the comments.
Making it interactive.
Exactly. Even just one sentence, giving a bit of backstory to an image, can make it feel so much more human, you know?
Yeah, context matters. What about stories?
Use stories for those quick, behind-the-scenes snippets. Your workspace, part of your process, maybe a sneak peek, still faceless.
And highlights.
Definitely use highlights. Pin your best stories there, group them by theme, like how I work or my tools or inspiration. It lets new visitors instantly get a feel for your style and expertise.
That's smart. And the guide also mentions user-generated content, community shoutouts.
Yes, this is great for building community and getting fresh content. Feature stuff your followers create that was inspired by you, or maybe clients showing how they use your product.
With permission, obviously.
Always with permission. But it expands your network, makes people feel involved, and keeps your feed from being solely about what you produce.
Okay, so we need strong visuals and strong captions. How do we make the account feel like a distinct brand if it's not tied to a person's face? Developing that visual identity.
It really boils down to consistency. Consistency is everything here.
Like a visual fingerprint.
Exactly like that. Treat your feed like a cohesive magazine spread. Stick to a consistent color palette, consistent lighting style, maybe similar filters or editing.
A whole mood or vibe.
Yes. And maintain a regular posting rhythm. It all adds up to make your account memorable and look professional.
And you can use specific items too, right? Signature props or motifs.
Yeah, little recurring elements. Maybe it's a particular coffee mug that always shows up in your desk shots, or a distinct background pattern, even a pet sometimes.
Huh, the office cat cameo.
Right. These become little icons associated with your brand. They signal you without needing your face.
The guide mentions @jenny.journals again here.
Perfect example. Stationary influencer never shows her face. But her handwritten notes, the way she arranges her pens, her desk setup, that is her unique visual signature, you know it's her content immediately.
So that's her brand identity visually. What if your niche is more conceptual, like business advice or tech? Harder to show physical objects sometimes.
Good point. The guide suggests strategically using high-quality stock imagery or custom illustrations.
But doesn't stock sometimes look generic?
It can, which is why you have to customize it. Don't just slap a generic photo up.
Mm-hmm.
Overlay your brand colors. Add text in your brand fonts. Incorporate your graphic elements. Make it yours.
Okay, got it. So we've got the content plan, the visual style. How do we actually grow? Get followers and engagement without that personal face appeal.
The basics still apply, but maybe with a slightly different focus. Hashtags and niche communities are key.
Researching the right ones.
Absolutely. Find hashtags relevant to your specific topic, but also look for ones other faceless creators use, like #facelesscreator or #visual storytelling. And don't just post participate. Engage in challenges, comment on community feature pages.
Be part of the conversation.
Exactly. Collaborations and features are also really powerful. Partner with other creators, faceless or not. Guest posts, maybe content swaps, co-branded giveaways.
Tap into their audience.
Right. It unlocks new audiences and builds credibility based purely on the quality of your work and who you associate with, not your image.
And crucially, you need to know if any of this is actually working.
Non-negotiable. Measuring what works. Use your Instagram insights. Track everything.
Likes, comments, shares, saves.
See which post types resonate most. Are carousels killing it? Do people love your flat lays? Are the reels getting shared? Use that data.
And adjust accordingly.
Double down on what works, tweak what doesn't. Growth is iterative and data-driven.
This is super practical. Okay, let's try and boil this down into some immediate, actionable steps someone listening could take based on the guide.
Okay, step 1. Content audit. Look at your past posts.
Yeah.
What worked well that didn't need your face? Start there.
Good baseline. Then choose core formats.
Yep. Pick maybe 2 or 3 main types, flat lays, graphic quotes, process reels, whatever fits, and plan your next, say, 10 posts using just those. Focus.
Get that visual style locked down. Build a visual guide.
Decide on your signature colors, your fonts, any recurring props. Even just a simple document helps keep you consistent.
Make creation easier. Batch, create content.
Definitely. Set aside time. Get your tripod out, maybe remote shutter, film or photograph a bunch of stuff at once. Hands, tools, setups, way more efficient.
Don't forget the words. Optimize captions.
Practice writing captions that teach or tell a story or ask a real question. Make them work harder for you.
Look outwards. Engage with others.
Yeah, don't just post and run. Go comment thoughtfully on accounts in your niche. Build those connections proactively.
And finally, keep checking. Revisit analytics monthly.
At least monthly. Compare results, see the trends, and tweak your plan based on what the data tells you. Be willing to adjust.
Okay, wow. So pulling this all together, it really feels like creating amazing, engaging Instagram content without showing your face is completely doable.
Absolutely. It's a powerful strategy and maybe even increasingly relevant now. It just requires, creativity, a smart visual approach, and really connecting through your words.
By focusing on these different formats, that consistent visual identity and genuine storytelling in captions, you really can build an engaged community.
Yeah, the key is shifting the focus. Let your ideas, your skills, your unique viewpoint, let that be the star, not necessarily your appearance.
So experiment, see what works for you and your audience, and build that connection through the content itself.
Exactly.
Which leaves us with a final thought, maybe something to mull over. If great content and real connection are the ultimate goals online, does the creator's actual face matter as much as we've always assumed? What kind of new possibilities, what creative avenues open up when you decide to focus purely on the message and the medium itself?